Rain most of the night and all morning. It's forecast to die down. Kewan Lacy the catch down the middle, and another strike by Chambliss. Gave up points on the opponent's opening drive for the first time in 12 games. Back to the Maine Black Bears, Week 10 last year. Mateer complete to Jaron Kanek, his tight end. But he has struggled since, understandably so. He runs for the first down. They did not force a punt from Georgia last week. The Bulldogs scored points on all 8 of their possessions in their win against the Rebels. Deep pass and a catch. Isaiah Satania. A terrific catch with the nickel. Kepenna-Gushigan right there all over him.
Perfectly thrown football too.
Sandell 12 out of 13 in his first year with Oklahoma. Transfer from UTSA. These are 2 of the best kickers in the country, and they've each made one. Henry Williams, ordinarily a starter, is out due to injury. So it'll be Guillory, Jacoby Johnson, Eli Bowen in a 3-man rotation. Chambliss again. 3rd down, 1.5 yards. Lacy, the running back. Chambliss throws, caught. 1st down. Daquan Wright, most in the nation. There's 75 tackles for a loss, also lead the country. Chambliss throws deep and on target again. What a throw to Trey Wallace. He got behind Peyton Bowen for a completion to the 33-yard line of 20. Breaking free is Lacy. Touchdown. 28 yards.
In America, it's Kewan Lacy who gets the handoff. Big hole off the right side, and he gives Ole Miss the 7-point lead.
Took over the calling of the defense, took it back this season. It's worked very well, at least prior to today. Torrey Blaylock trying to get around the corner. He's out of bounds. The best offense they've played so far is Michigan. They're the only team in the top 70 in the country in total offense the Sooners have played. Much different opposition here today.
So can the secondary lock down quality wide receivers?
After the fake to Lacy. Stribling. Lacy dropped for a 2-yard loss. All time, including the loss last week at Georgia. Mateer waving receivers around. Here's another bust in the Ole Miss secondary. Satania, who's a track athlete, will not be caught. Touchdown OU. 76 yards, 66 after the catch.
You also had a receiver to the left side that was wide open as well in Kanek. That's just a bust. You have some guys playing man, a couple guys with zone eyes looking at the quarterback, and nobody sees Satania as he breaks across. Leads to a massive play, and it's a great job too by Mateer, hanging in there, allowing the receiver to uncover, throwing him open. It's off to the races. Just very well executed by Oklahoma, taking advantage of a big mistake by Ole Miss's back end.
And they weren't going to get Satania. He went to high school in Fayetteville, Arkansas. His dad was on 1st and 10. Lacy rounds the corner. Kewan Lacy, the transfer from Missouri, with a nice 1st down run. On 2nd and 9, they bring a blitz. Lacy got in the way, knocked down Heineke, but it's still a sack for Marvin Jones Jr.
And this is a great job. It's one thing I could do is get guys lined up. Beyond that, not much.
Blaylock in trouble, taken down to the end zone. A safety. Prince Will Umanmielen for the beleaguered Ole Miss defense. A huge play.
Are the strike that watch big number 52, Will Eccles. He just mows right across the face of the center. Michaela pushes everything back, and then from the backside, Umanmielen's able to drag him down as well. Just outstanding play up front and relentless pursuit by two Rebel defenders. Guys in the first half of football games, man, they are a handful on the edges and at defensive tackle, but they got to make sure they can sustain that effort throughout the game.
Free kick from Sandell. Isaiah Hartrip runs a long way with nobody near him for Oklahoma, and he's almost to midfield. So the defense with a big play and sparks a nice return by Hartrip on the free kick, 38 yards.
Trinidad's been a great fit, but getting them back on track is key. Didn't do it last week very well. Can they do it here?
Looked like it might have been a design quarterback draw. He stays on his feet and runs out of bounds with a first down. Just past the marker on the far sideline at the 41-yard line. He got 16.
And these are called G-bot plays, and every quarterback has them. You go through them with your offensive coordinator. G-bot stands for get back on track. The last couple drives, Chambliss not playing very well for a nice conversion.
And now Lacy taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Kip Lewis. Chambliss looking down the middle. Nifty movement through a crowded pocket. On his feet inside the 5. First down. I think they got a little too creative and tricky for their own good there. Here's Carneiro from 22. That's a gimme for him, and it's 15-10. It was Joe Judge, the former New York Giants head coach, coaching up Chambliss on the sideline. Mateer running out of time, throws in a beauty to Deion Burks for an Oklahoma first down on a 16-yard completion. He beat Antonio Kite in coverage.
And Mateer does such a great job throwing on the move, and that was a very patient route.
He goes under center. They shifted the strength of the formation to their right. Mateer rolls out. He's in trouble, and he is down in the arms of Prince Will Umanmielen.
Pass, Umanmielen sees it, fights through some traffic, and there's really nowhere for John Mateer to go. It's really well defended by Ole Miss's defense. They really had a great job with pursuit of the quarterback, but there was also nobody open downfield. Great job by Lane Kiffin's defense.
And a smart move by Mateer. Looked like at the last minute he was going to try to unload it. That could have been disastrous. On the left hip of Chambliss. Quick pass, first down. Harrison Wallace III, better known as Trey. Of course, they don't have to. They have plenty of time to score in the half with the 2 timeouts and the stoppage. Sammy Omosigo drops that for a 3-yard loss. He took down Chambliss. Every Saturday, Trinidad Chambliss on 2nd and 13. Caught! Caden Lee inside the 10. Wallace, Alexander, all talented wide receiver transfers.
And this is a great throw a moment ago. You could see the defender on the outside, Bowen, whose eyes are in the backfield. This ball had to be on time and accurate, or else that corner from the outside in could easily have made a possible play on that ball, but it's perfectly thrown and executed.
Lee, returning wide receiver. Lacy stopped for very little by Owen Heineke. Looks like it's going to be a direct snap to Lacy. It is, and it's a walk-in touchdown. Lane Kiffin a little happier with the way that drive ended. And he did.
And I love the way these two defensive tackles, Jamarius Brown and Will Eccles, look how they attack the outside shoulder of the defenders. Oftentimes you put defensive tackles in the game, they just want to run and hit somebody hard. They're so excited to be on offense that the technique just goes completely sideways. But in this particular case, they attack that outside shoulder, capture the edge. And
how good is this Sooner defense? Would you be a little concerned about your defense at halftime?
A little bit, especially with some of the plays given up on the perimeter by a secondary that really hadn't been challenged by a group of receivers that are quite this talented.
Would you, Greg?
I think they'll go direct snap here.
They are running. It's a bad snap. Kewan Lacy smothered back at the 15. You go for it from this far in your own territory.
Yeah, I don't agree with it at this point. I mean, 4th and 1, Lane's always going to lean towards being aggressive. Analytics, he leans heavy on that. But there on your own 25, you're right, Sean. This year he's gone away from it and felt the game a little more, so I'm very surprised.
Xavier Robinson, the running back. Javani Gibson went in motion under duress. Mateer sidestepped the rush, but he cannot escape. Prince Will Umanmielans had an enormous day for Pete Golding. His second sack, he was involved in the safety as well. What a day for Umanmielen, the transfer from Nebraska. Tate Sandell. Good from 42. Trinidad Chambliss, just a 4-man rush, well blocked. And it is caught for a first down. Winston Watkins, the true freshman from Fort Myers, Florida.
Really concerned about this pass rush. Understandably, they come in with 26 sacks on the gate, just one so far today.
Chambliss stopped for a loss. Well, that penalty was huge. Let's bring in our rules expert, Matt Austin. What say you, Matt? Carter Short, the snapper. Oscar Bird, the holder. Boy, these kickers are so good. Just more than 1 yard per play. The last 5 possessions for Oklahoma. 4 of the 5 have resulted in no yards or a negative. This is going to be a big gainer. Xavier Robinson, touchdown! 65 yards.
Watch Wydett Williams right here. Watch him as he tries to make a play. He just gets lost. I mean, the back is up inside, kind of lost in the mesh. He all of a sudden decides to go too far inside. They lose leverage of the football to the outside, and that's exactly where Robinson gets to for a massive play. And a gotta-have-it moment, it felt like, for Oklahoma to find something offensively. Poor pursuit in the back end defensively from Ole Miss leads to a big play and a much-needed score.
Xavier Robinson, sophomore from Yukon, Oklahoma. Robinson remains the running back. Mateer faked it to him. Mateer takes off running. John Mateer inside the 15 and shoved out of bounds near the 12 by Chris Graves Jr.
A lot of quarterbacks do their damage in the scramble drill on 3rd down, but that's not really where Mateer does it. 3rd down, he keeps his eyes down.
Chatania went in motion again, dangerously close to heading up the field. Robinson heads to the end zone. Touchdown! Back-to-back scores for Robinson and the lead for OU.
Right here on the left side, Ozaida and Fususi. They try to go against Will Eccles, who kind of olays his way out of the hole, tried to go around him to the outside, but him moving just ever so slightly allows for plenty of space up on the interior, and that's where Robinson finds it. Just poorly defended along the line of scrimmage by Ole Miss, but a great job by the O-line of Oklahoma.
His second career 2 TD game. The tight end as if he might go under center. He does not. Chambliss pressured. First down. Harrowing play for Ole Miss. Chambliss faked it to Lacy. Stayed in the block. A wide open receiver. Winston Watkins inside the 20.
And a moment ago, it was such a great play by Kip Lewis to tackle in the open field. This time he doesn't get any reroute on the wide receiver. He has to collision that wide receiver. He lets him go to the inside. There's plenty of space, and it's a well-timed and accurate throw by Chambliss, but one great play by Kip Lewis.
Lacy's rushed for 80 on 20 carries. He has scored 2 touchdowns. They faked it to him. Immediate pressure. He got it off to Kewan Wright, who got dumped in the flat. Gain of 10, 1st and goal. Lacy had nowhere to run. It didn't help that he slipped, but they line up in the pistol now. We haven't seen much of that today. Play fake to Lacy. Chambliss throws wide open. Touchdown. Trace Bruckler.
And then you slip the other tight end out the other direction for some great misdirection. He actually even goes to the ground. This is a throwback play that is so difficult for the defense to defend, especially when you have a tendency that shifts towards one player. He becomes the decoy, you throw away from it, and it's an easy walk-in score for the Rebels on a tremendous drive.
Bruckler on a likely target. It's in his first year at Ole Miss after 4 at New Mexico. Had 5 touchdown catches for the Lobos over 4 years, 2 of them last year. And that one is incomplete. Off the hands of Caleb Odom. He lined up pretty quickly. Mateer, look out from behind. He escaped from Miellen, but got back near the line of scrimmage, not quite there. Finished off by Cam Franklin.
Miellen has had a...
So a 3-and-out forced by Oklahoma. 4th punt of the day for Oscar Bird. And a good one with the wind at his back. Isaiah Satania. The ball came out at the end. Rebels think they have it. No word yet from the officials. Yes, it is. Ole Miss ball.
It was Bruckler who is coming in to clean it up right here with the elbow. As you see the ball start to slip out. Tremendously well done by the punt cover team for Ole Miss. You reference Alexander, but there's Bruckler right there with the elbow. Is that left knee down? They'll look at it.
First turnover of the game.
Watch the
and
left.
Just the 5th takeaway of the year for Ole Miss.
Yep, nothing down. That was a massive moment there.
4 tied with Oklahoma for the fewest in the SEC. They're going for the knockout punch. Chambliss on target. Winston Watkins, what a second half the freshman's had.
As they decide to go for the jugular on sudden change. And now they're knocking on the door again.
Yards, that's up to 4 catches and 111 yards. After a 43-yard play. Our Mason Thomas, the stop on Trinidad Chambliss. After that 43-yard play to Watkins. Oklahoma hadn't given up more than 6 in a game all year. Lacy knocked back. Jaden Jackson another play for a 2. As much as they'd like the touchdown and the 2-score lead, you don't want to give away a field goal. And an 8-point lead, and Lacy stopped at the 20. Kip Lewis again with Owen Heineke. Gives Oklahoma the first down with 2:28 to go. Mateer knocked back for a loss of 2. Will Venables use a timeout here? It seems he will. 0 for 1 on 4th down. Passive rush. Mateer incomplete. Over the head of Giovanni Gibson.
There's poor run fit by Wyatt Williams on the long run. They blew a coverage that allowed Satania to get deep for a big one as well. So they can kind of look internally and say, hey, those plays were on us. And that's always kind of a good feeling from a coaching standpoint. So they go with maybe a high percentage throw? Probably not. Probably just run it here, maybe to the outside.
I would not throw it if I were them. Make Oklahoma use the last timeout. Here's Kewan Lacy. And he'll be stopped for a loss. Initial contact from Kendall Daniels. 4th and 2. They do get the first down. Satania to the 45-yard line of Ole Miss. It's not otherwise a tall receiving group. Mateer steps into the throw. That's not going to reach the end zone, and it's batted by Wyatt Williams on the last play